Here's a few things you need to know about El Dorado Hills before moving there. Check it out. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Before we get started, as much as we love making these videos for you, we would love more to help you out with buying or selling a property. So if you're interested in moving out to the area, please hit that phone number down below, set up that 15-minute Zoom. Let's get you guys on that journey to finding that new property. Let's get into a few things that you need to know though about El Dorado Hills before making the journey out. All right, number one, and I think this is one thing that a lot of people forget about, but it's fire insurance. Fire insurance in California has gone through the roof, especially in El Dorado County. Now, if you're in El Dorado Hills, it may not be too bad depending on where you're living, but because you are in those foothills, because you do have a nice dry weather during the summertime, and you've got a lot of open space area out there, there is a lot of areas that could have potential fires, and of course PG&E is out there. Because of these reasons, insurance has kind of gone through the roof for people out there. Now it really depends on, like I say, where you're at in El Dorado Hills. If you're in one of the neighborhoods, it's getting better and better as we move forward, but if you're in the outskirts, or say like you're on the ridge, something like that, you may get an elevated insurance quote. So if it's something that you guys are thinking about doing, make sure reach out. We've got a great insurance guy. He can help you out and work those quotes. Usually what we'll do with our clients is, as soon as we identify a property that they want, we'll go out to them and again ask them for quotes, unless you guys have somebody that you like working with already, and he can base everything off there. I will say, rule of thumb is, as long as you're within about 5 miles of a fire station, it will keep that insurance pretty low. So just a side note, all right? Number two, we are still a town, okay? El Dorado Hills, as much as it offers, it's still a town, and they like it like that. They like keeping it like that. It's unincorporated. So I didn't even think about this. One of my clients actually was like, where's all the street lights? Yes, it gets dark at night. So there are not too many street lights in El Dorado Hills. Again, that's going to be because, one, they are a town, so a lot of this stuff is outskirts, and two, they are unincorporated, so they're not technically one of those cities yet, and therefore some of that lighting is lacking. Now, I've been out there in the middle of the night. I absolutely love it, and I think because of, again, how El Dorado sits, everything being on that hill, you get a lot of reflecting light coming from down below. And you're up a little bit higher, so a lot of times you get a little bit of a clearer sky out there. So to me, it's really nice. But do remember that if you're walking around, or if you're somebody who likes to take early morning runs, or you like to take night walks, something like that, yeah, you're gonna probably need a headlamp. Number three, you need to understand that there is wildlife. And when I'm talking wildlife, I'm talking snakes, and at that, rattlesnakes. So you are up in those foothills. You got to remember also, a lot of these parks, a lot of these trails take nature into consideration. They're not just plowing down your area and making these beautiful walkways. They're kind of moving and weaving in between the hills, in between the trees, in between these rocks that may be sitting right next to the path. So there are times that you can be walking outside. You can go into your backyard, especially if you have a larger lot, and you may get a visit from the old rattlesnake. Now, I will say I've had my share of running into them. For the most part, those suckers don't want anything to do with us. They're taken off. They're out of there. Also, if you're in a lot of these neighborhoods, especially some of the newer neighborhoods, the neighborhoods have been there for a couple years now, but they're still building. those snakes, mice, everything is kind of taken off a little bit from there just because their habitat has been disturbed. But as those trails, like I say, as you're out there, or the parks that work between all these oak trees and everything, you are bound to hit one of these rattlesnakes. So just be cautious when you come into that. Number 4, talking about top rated schools. Now we're not just talking like, hey, I know I keep talking about pretty much anything in kind of like that northern area of Sacramento has top rated schools. I'd say most of them out there are going to be like an 8+ higher. There's a few pockets in there, of course, that are a little bit lower, but for the most part, we're talking high scores throughout the northern part of the Sacramento area. But in actual El Dorado Hills, they have a 10 out of 10. And I'm a 10 out of 10. They have a 10 out of 10 for their college prep courses through El Dorado High School. Yeah, I have never seen a 10 out of 10, but I went to greatschools.org just to verify this, and of course it is. They've got a 10 out of 10 there. I think this is really just the pride of the kids, 2, the backing of the community, and 3, of course, the school, the teachers and principals that are there for the kids. They've got a lot of tutoring that goes on there. They got a lot of after school activities, and the kids are really prideful in where they go to college. So it's kind of like a battle. Like they do those end of school year, where are you going to college things, and it is literally like everyone's kind of trying to one up the next person. They've got great sports programs with that as well, so they help out with these kids with a lot of scholarship opportunities as well. But like I say, if you're looking for your kid to go to college, you cannot get any better than their college prep courses. All right, and last but not least, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but I like to get it out there because, well, once we go into contract on a property, it's gonna come up. There is a high amount of natural occurring asbestos out there. Now, from everyone I've talked to, things I've dealt with myself, you really don't have to worry about this natural asbestos unless you're building or you're moving a rock. There's a lot of natural granite out there, and so if you're moving these rocks, supposedly this natural asbestos is living underneath there. So you just gotta remember, if you're doing any kind of building, if you're, say, digging a pool, make sure, one, you keep the windows closed until they're done. The crews will get that all set up. Or if you're doing some kind of digging yourself, you may or may not want to wear a mask. But it is something that it's enough asbestos or enough natural occurring asbestos that is actually one of our disclosures that we need to give to buyers in the area. So just note that when you're going to purchase one of these properties, you are going to have to, basically sign the disclosure saying that, yes, I understand that there's natural occurring asbestos. Now, I've also done my research on this. There's natural occurring asbestos all over the map, but this area is just high enough that it's something they have to definitely make sure that they disclose to you. So yeah, natural occurring asbestos, it's out there. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully I answered your questions on a few things that you needed to know about the area. Also, like I said, if I can help you buy or sell something in the area, please reach out. We'd love to help you out. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.